With the Oil Express or the oil prep instrument, it may become necessary at times to replace the VersaTip if the VersaTip or the stinger becomes damaged. The most common cause of this is when a disposable tip rack is changed out, or a sample rack is changed out, or a sample is left sticking up, and then the VersaTip can strike that. As a customer, or you should always be very careful to make sure your labware is seated and in the down position before you start the instrument. Should you have to replace the VersaTip, they can be purchased as a consumable item from our inside sales department, part number 507-9076. To replace the VersaTip, you'll need a piece of sandpaper, small piece of sandpaper to help grip the Teflon tubing, a small Phillips screwdriver, PZ1 I do believe is the size. If you use a number 1 Phillips, it's just a little bit too large. And then an Allen key, a 9/64 standard Allen key to back out the tip stripper. So we'll start with that. We'll back out the screw for the tip stripper, just far enough for the tip stripper to drop down. And be careful not to over tighten that when it goes back in. With the power off, you should be able to raise and lower the Z-axis in order to gain access. Remove the 2 small Phillips screws. The paper towel underneath will help prevent losing the screws. Those screws can be procured if need be. You would have to contact your service representative to get that part number. And remove the black clamp that goes over the top of the VersaTip. Swing the VersaTip out, slide the collar up just a little bit, grip, we're going to fold this over, it's just a little bit wide, grip the Teflon tubing and slide the VersaTip out of the tubing. Move it aside and get the new VersaTip out of the package, and we're going to slide the new VersaTip back up over the tubing. This can be the tricky part. That's where the sandpaper really comes in handy. So I'm going to block the camera view for a short time in order to gain access. Hold on to the Teflon tubing. Slide the VersaTip as far as it will go onto the tubing. Slide the collar back down. When you position the VersaTip, note there's a collar at the top that must be over the top of the tip housing. Seat it fully into the tip housing. I'm going to cross back over. And we're going to put the clamp back on. Note there's an angle on one side of the clamp that goes over the plastic clamp that goes over your VersaTip. We're going to put that angle to the right so that it helps to hold in the other cover, other part of the tip housing cover. We'll just tighten these up a little bit as we put them in, these Phillips screws. Once we have it in place, we'll snug them up. Don't over tighten them or you will crack the clamp on the tip housing here, the VersaTip clamp. That's what I call it. Really, it's just part of the tip housing cover. We're going to slide our tip stripper sleeve back onto the VersaTip, hold it in the up position, and we're going to run this screw, the cap screw, back in. Make sure that we don't over tighten it and that the tip stripper sleeve is behaving normally. And that concludes replacing the VersaTip.